in 2010, there was a solar eclipse in Patna, in Bihar. And it was one of the longest solar eclipses of the century. Like it was almost 7 minutes of totality, which is a huge period of time. So I decided, I got in touch with a few of them who were making their way to the Patna planetarium. And I went to the planetarium and we set up on the roof, and it was an early morning eclipse, like 6 o'clock, I think was when the eclipse was supposed to begin. And until 3 in the morning, it was perfect. Conditions were amazing. But at 3, clouds started to gather. And then at 6 o'clock, it was completely overcast. So all the telescopes remained covered. And then just as totality began, it started to pour. So that means there's cloud, there's rain. The temperature has dropped. You felt, all of that. And there was complete chaos. Everyone was screaming and shouting. And then for 7 minutes, you just stood there in darkness. But it was the most incredible experience because it felt like it was the first time I was aware of my position, physical position on the planet. The fact that you are on a sphere in space, and these huge bodies are moving, and then you are somewhere in the middle of this conjunction between the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun. So the eclipse finishes, and then I just felt like there was something there, something that could be channelized. There's something about the energy and the exhilaration on the roof.
Why do you think you're so drawn towards it? Why is it you want to interpret science into an art form?
I don't know if I want to interpret science into an art form so much as I think the amateur astronomer, the figure of the amateur astronomer becomes like all of us, it's all of us. For me, at least, the amateur astronomer is me, is anyone who looks up at the night sky and wonders. And anyone who then projects their own thoughts and desires onto the sky, which then projects it back to you. I mean, our earliest storytelling began with the stars, So I think the other thing that, of course, is also very worrying is that most of the planet, especially in the cities, is losing the skies. Like we're losing the night sky. Delhi, you don't see the night sky. Earlier, when I joined the Amateur Astronomers Association, we could do observations from Delhi, in the heart of Delhi. And now you have to go 8 hours to get a low threshold sky. That means it's kind of dark. It's not really dark. It's kind of dark, right? So that's pretty horrifying to me. It feels like, especially, it makes me think that what will it mean if my daughter doesn't grow up with the stars? I feel like those are things that we should be thinking about because it's absolutely something that is a right that we should all have access to. I think it begins with that, and also it does give you a sense of perspective, and it makes you think about larger questions. And for me, it's all of those things. It's about also the importance of making a case for wonder, because I feel like wonder is about, it's not just about beauty. It's not about the sublime. It's about walking this line between the strangeness and the uncanny, and then when that happens, it can change how you see things the same way the speculative can.
Okay.